I'm as a carcass torn apart between two hungry beasts, yet no wound will bring me death, nor shall I escape their feast. But flesh alone they swallow absent, and I've my soul to spare, till I prefer which creature that my naked bones shall wear.
Hello and welcome to Pistol and Plow Films today. Got a special episode for you today. This has been a pretty cool experience. Everything I've gone through and dealt with on this for this episode. I had the opportunity to go on a wagon train just for one day. But the man Joe who put this all together, he's been from Nauvoo, Illinois, all the way to Utah on a wagon train over the course of the last couple of years.
I'm Joe Blythe. I don't know what to say. Was raised in Sevier County, and that's where we are now. And we're continuing on, following the footsteps of our ancestors. So today is an extension of what we've been doing the last few years, and we're going from Joseph, Utah to Escalante. My wife's family settled down in that area originally, so we are going from where my family settled to where her family settled.
I'm Jeff McCarroll, Hollywood stuntman, bull rider, all that good stuff, you know. But my good friend Joe, Stephanie and I got married April 12th. And I had met Joe in Kanab, Utah, and I asked him if he'd be willing to do a that's when I did it, right?
Yeah.
The wedding for us, and he said, yeah, I'm on board. So we've been talking back and forth, and he's become a really good friend, and I heard about his journey doing this, and I said, you know what, I want to do this.
I got interested in my family's journals and was reading them, and they all seem to have converged in Nauvoo in the 1800s. And so, you know, there's no way to help them. Some of the tragic stories I read was pretty touching, so I thought, you know what, I'm at least going to cover those miles. You know, I can't say I've had the same experience or the dangers and the hardships that they had, but I can say that I've at least covered those same miles in honor of them. And we did it for the 175th anniversary of when the Mormons left Nauvoo and went to winter quarters, and we did that in 2021. And then in 2022, we went from winter quarters to Salt Lake. And again, that was 175th anniversary. And then since then, every year we go about another 100 miles following our ancestors. So this will kind of be the end of it, because that takes us to where her family settled originally. So that's what we're doing today.
Duran K. Well, like I was mentioning, my daughter started with wagons a little bit in Payson. She was working for somebody there, and she started doing some Christmas rides in Payson.
It brings to close you know, a several year journey. And we've learned a lot. You know, reading my family's journals, I knew where they saw their first buffalo. I knew where they saw their first antelope. I know where some of our ancestors are buried based on the major landmarks along the way. I knew where some of them camped. And anyhow, you don't know exactly, but you know that today, somewhere along the trail, that I passed one of my great-great-grandfathers, per se, you know. And And going across Wyoming, we've seen a couple rocks about like this big, and it'll just say baby. You know, pretty touching. So they had some hardships, and we're just trying to honor them and their memory.
And I first met him last fall in September because I was headed up to Gunnison to pick up some bulk grain for my animals, and just north of Salina there was a covered wagon on the side of the road with a team of mules and a fellow obviously camping for the evening. And so I needed to get on up to grab the grain, and so I thought, well, I'll just stop on the way back when I'm not in a rush. And that's how I met Joe. And he kind of told me what he was doing and what he'd been working on, and invited me to come on this leg of the journey. And so here we are. We're headed up Marysville Canyon on the old railroad embankment. It used to be the railroad, and it's now a bike path.
Thought it was a great story, and I said, man, I want to be on board. I think he thought I was kidding at first.
I did. There's not a lot of people that want to do this.
Right.
You know,
Right.
It takes a special breed.
I love it. I mean, look where we're at. You know, we're in beautiful Utah. Great people here. I mean, all these guys are great people.
Yeah, well, we got good friends, and some of their ancestors did this same journey. So, although we initially set this up for our ancestors, but they're enjoying and doing the same thing for their ancestors. So
It's a great opportunity to be with my friends and do this. And get to drive his team. I get to actually drive his team. Don't ask, because he'll never let you. I had to hold my pistol again.
But she's had extensive experience with horses and mules and whatnot, you know, working for the Barton Ranch down on the Arizona Strip, working for in Zions. She worked there for a couple of years doing guided tours, horse rides. And she worked at Bryce Canyon one year, and they worked up to Sundance, her and Willow. And I think Meadow's kind of been involved in a little bit of that through the years too, with the Bartan and Zions.
But no, man, fulfill your dreams. If your family's got, your history, and you want to go do something, just do it, because life doesn't go backwards. It just goes forward, and we can't get it back. So just go fulfill your dream.
that's good.
Bam.
Then the family in the middle is the K family. They're from Mona, and they actually got that team of little halflinger mules and that wagon from me last year. They've been doing really good, had them in some parades and been on some other little wagon trains, and great bunch of people. Really pretty canyon. I mean, I don't know how you get any more classic Western country. It looks like it's straight out of a movie. And my mule on the right there seems to think that river's going to climb right out of the banks and get up here and like give her a bath or something that she doesn't want. So she's trying to avoid it at all costs. And all it really does is make her work a lot harder and make the other mule work harder too. Get up! And so we have to convince them to cooperate somewhat. And it'll do better if they can watch that buckskin gelding, because they know him and they pasture with him. And so they'll do better if they can follow him. Mules are a definite following type animal. And it's well known that they'll follow like a gray mare. And I don't know why, but it's well known. A lot of guys that pack a lot of mules and work a lot of mules, they'll on purposely have a gray mare as their herd animal, and they'll put a bell on that gray mare because they know wherever that gray mare goes, the mules will be with her. Kind of interesting. I don't know why. If the mules look at it as a donkey, maybe they think of it as a progenitor. I don't know. But that is one of the many interesting quirks of the equine world.
Well, there again, that's kind of a relative thing. It's important to me many people it might not be important to because they haven't been exposed to it, number one, and it takes a little while to kind of develop a taste for it, a flavor for it, and it touches back on our ancestry's way of life. Working with animals, working in the open spaces, farming, agriculture, all of that has importance to me because it touches on the realities of the rural way of life.
Rocky Top.
I'm off. Start over again.
Take two.